Before the season, I predicted an all Big Ten SEC college football playoff. I think we're maybe one TCU loss away from that. Agree or disagree?
Well, I think if the committee goes by resume, we are there. If they honor the conference championships, which they've broken that trend a long, long time ago, so they make it a point on their criteria, but it is not number one, first and foremost. So the resume is going to go the side of Tennessee, and the resume is going to go the side of Michigan/Ohio State loser in a close game. So especially if North Carolina wins the ACC, they've done nothing to date against anyone better than Duke. Of course, they're going to get their shot against Clemson, but really even their late season backloaded schedule of NC State and Wake is fairly weak and not what it could have been because those teams have faltered. So, yeah, a one-loss TCU team as a conference champion, I think, is in serious trouble, despite the Big 12 being a pretty solid conference top to bottom.
The one thing I'm fascinated about is LSU. I have to believe if they win the SEC, even with 2 losses, they'll be the first 2-loss team, right? I mean, can you foresee a scenario that the SEC champion is not, especially if they, beat Georgia to get there, beat Alabama to get there, who the committee still has rated fairly highly? I've got to think that they would, and people forget about this. In 2017, we almost had a 2-loss team. Remember, Auburn was number 2 with 2 losses and then lost. I think it was it to LSU in the SEC championship game. And so it's not like we haven't been close to having 2-loss teams before. So I think LSU would be a team that also controls its own destiny, right?
Yeah, because they beat the direct competition in Georgia, which would still make it. But the other 2 spots are going to be taken by the Big Ten champion. And even if a undefeated TCU emerges, there are 2 other spots. I think LSU with 2 losses, I think they're in. With the again, it goes back to resume. I think first and foremost for this committee, and LSU is going to be in the field. Then they come out with an interesting conundrum of LSU, Georgia, Tennessee, with Tennessee having that lopsided win against LSU. And can they include all 3? Nobody's going to want that. I don't think they want the look of that, although maybe ESPN gives them a nudge and says, go right ahead. We're good with that. It's going to be difficult to separate LSU, Georgia, and Tennessee because they all have something on the other to get out of, to separate 2 out of those 3 for the playoff field.
Mark, good stuff as always, man. We'll talk to you next week for the game.
Looking forward to it, Steve. Thank you so much.
It's hard to believe it. Every year I say this, every year it goes by so fast, especially with Michigan good again, it goes by even faster. Throw in as we get older how much faster it goes by. And it just seems like we just kicked this season off like 10 minutes ago, brother.
College football fans, it's not the NBA, it's not Major League Baseball. Right. Cherish it when it's here. It's the shortest season of all, so cherish it.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen. Wise words. Hey, we'll see you next week, all right? God bless. Thank you.